Hi everybody, thank you for listening today. And so I am working on the census for 2021. I'm passionate about people and I'm passionate that every response counts. Thank you, Patrick. Next slide. So every 10 years, the census provides a unique snapshot of our society, especially relevant in 2021 during a worldwide pandemic. The next census is happening on Sunday, the 21st of March, 2021. And by taking part and encouraging others to do the same, you'll help make sure your communities are counted in vital decisions on services and funding. Thank you. Billions of pounds are allocated to local services using census-based information every year, so that these funds can be allocated in the most appropriate and effective ways, i.e. in mental health care. It's important the census accurately captures everyone in our society, because the census funding also covers things like emergency services, mental health care, like I've said, school places, hospital beds, houses, roads, GPs, dentists, you name it, everything that we all use on a regular basis in our lives. Thank you, Patrick. The next. So no one knows your community better than you. We understand that building positive relationships with communities like those that Torfaen Voluntary Alliance supports means more people understand the benefits of the census and are likely to take part. We need your help to raise awareness and understanding of the census in your communities, and especially the hard to reach groups. Thank you. So your unique understanding of your community's interests and the challenges and barriers they may face can help us plan and implement support that lets everyone join in. Raising awareness is really important. Your community links can help us spread the word about what the census is and why it matters. This will build trust in the processes and boost participation. And also it's about access. Your networks can help us reach those members of your community who need support. This will help make sure they're included and counted too. There's lots of help available, which I'll go into later. Thank you, Patrick. So a census timeline. So I'm a census engagement manager and I've been working with community advisors in various languages as well. We'll continue to work and have done since September with the communities and local authorities. The online help centre goes live. I think it's already live in February. I don't know whether you've seen, there's a mass marketing campaign that begins on TV, radio, newspaper and more. That started on the 12th of February. So every household receives a postcard telling them the census is coming, and that's from yesterday. So they should start landing now on people's doormats. And that's from the 22nd of Feb to the 3rd of March. The electronic questionnaire and the digital support services go live today. So you can actually go on the website, which I'll give details of later, and you can access the electronic questionnaire, but you will need a unique access code, which I'll talk about again, to be able to access it. The contact centre and support centres, again, I'll talk about those later. They go live from the 1st of March. That's the intended date. Every household receives a pack telling them to join in now and how to do it from the 3rd to the 13th of March. And that includes the letter that has the unique access code I was talking about. That's all around data protection, having your own personal access code or a household access code. Census days, 21st of March, a Sunday. I can't reiterate that enough. Reminder letters start arriving and field officers visit houses still to respond from the 22nd of March onwards. So what we're basically saying is that as soon as you get your unique access code, as soon as possible, go into the questionnaire and complete it as soon as possible. But obviously bearing in mind that the answers you give have to be around your circumstances on the evening of Sunday, the 21st of March. It's something that you can actually come out of once you can save your information and then go back into it. So you don't have to answer all the questions in one go. It's something you can go back to. So the last day to complete your questionnaire online or to order a paper questionnaire is the 4th of May. We do urge people to do their questionnaire as soon as they get their access code, so that we're not having to follow up. So the census coverage survey begins on the 5th of May, which is why the questionnaire has to close. And the census coverage survey takes random snapshots around the UK to check the accuracy of the data that's being collected. And that's really the only reason why people have to give their name. But I'll go on to that again as well. Thank you, Patrick. So the postcard that's arriving, this is what the postcard is going to look like. As I said, it started arriving, it's being sent from yesterday, the 22nd of February, up until the 3rd of March. It's just sort of giving, raising awareness to say the census is coming, and, you know, to look out for your invitation pack in the post. It's also been sent in a Welsh version, obviously, in Wales. Thank you, Patrick. So completing the census is digital first census. It's a digital first census, but it's not a digital only census. And that's for people who may not be able to respond digitally. Of course, we have a paper questionnaire which can be requested using your unique access code. A lot of information is on the website, which is mentioned there, and it's census, census.gov.uk. And then also in Welsh, cyfrifiad, cyfrifiad.gov.uk. And there is a lot of information and support available via the website. Thank you. So completing the census, there's lots of help and support, as I said, and that's what I'll go into now. There's a call centre, there's going to be a contact centre number made available, and because that's not live yet, as I said, it's going to be around the 1st of March, the contact centre number will be made available and put on the website. There's online help, which I suggested in the website. There's field help, so our local community engagement staff will be on hand throughout the census process with resources, advice and practical support that enables everyone to join in. Accessibility options, things like a text relay service for people who would like to text. There's a free language line, which covers, I believe, up to 52 different languages. And again, even if English is not your first language and you might find it difficult asking, people can usually identify what their language is and be then put through to the person that speaks that language. There's a large print format available, Braille version available, and a British Sign Language online as well. As it mentions here, there's a census support centre for Torfaen, and that is the Age Connects Centre, the Widdersham Centre, which I'm sure lots of you are familiar with. Again, the sort of logistics around how that's going to work, we'll give you more information about that. Obviously, it's COVID friendly, and we're in Tier 4 at the moment, so unfortunately it can't open in Tier 4, but we're hoping not to be in Tier 4 when we actually want to open the centre, which should be around the beginning of March. Again, look out for information around that. So there's some funny facts around the census. So on Census Day in 2011, 10 years ago, just over 1,500 babies were born in England and Wales, would you believe? So just over 6,000 people put their religion as heavy metal. And just over 176,000 people identified as Jedi, yeah, but that was actually down from just under 400,000 20 years ago. So obviously the Jedi numbers are diminishing, but this is what people have put on their forms for real, yeah. So yeah, the next slide. Thank you, Patrick. So that's my information. My name, as I said, is Ellie Barker. I am the Census Engagement Manager for Torfaen and Newport and Monmouthshire. My email is on there, helen.barker85@field.census.gov.uk. My telephone number is on there too, and I'm happy for people to get in touch, 07452 939 522. I also have, which I haven't included on that slide, it's just reminding me that I should have, my Twitter handle, which is @census, T for Torfaen, N for Newport, M for Monmouthshire. That's @census TNM. Please do follow me on Twitter to find out any of the latest information around the census. And Jess, I suppose now then, Patrick, are there any questions? Thank you.
Okay, if anybody does have a question. Carol.
Hi, Carol.
Can you hear me now? Yes, there will be a lot of elderly people who are not familiar, not necessarily elderly people, I don't want to say that they're the only ones, but who will not be contacted by email. Will they get a questionnaire? How will they have to request a questionnaire if they don't?
Yes, thank you, Carol, for your question. So people are not going to be notified via email. I don't know if that was clear, but everyone will receive a letter, a pack,
Yes.
in the post, okay? Some people will be sent a paper questionnaire as a first approach, and that are areas within Torfaen that are deemed by ONS and Census as having a lower broadband take, maybe not able to tap into Wi-Fi that easily, and a lower digital uptake, just that they're aware of that from previous stats that we've had. So there is going to be households that will receive the paper questionnaire automatically without requesting it. That is only a very small number though. But to answer your question then, on the letter that's sent, there is a number on there for people to ring to request the paper questionnaire, or they can go online. Like you said, it's been my concern too that not everyone is confident going online, and not everyone is maybe confident telephoning. They don't have to do it themselves. If they have a member of the family or any friends or neighbours or anyone that they feel that they trust, they know, and they give their consent, they can ask for them to do it on their behalf, So, and as I say, it's got to be a trusted person, and someone that they're happy to give consent, to request the paper questionnaire for them, and also to help them with the questionnaire. So yeah, I hope that answers your question.
Yes, I do know quite a number of elderly people who are not confident about using the telephone because they have hearing aids or are deaf, and they don't necessarily have anybody to help them. It have to be a neighbour.
Yes.
That might be a problem regarding self-distancing.
Of course, I completely understand. So the next approach then would be, I would believe, Carol, would be the first person that they may see will be possibly the household officer, knocking on their door, chasing up the questionnaire, which I said is going to happen from the 22nd of March. So
Right,
that
so there'll be follow-ups. Yeah,
will
yeah,
follow up and will signpost them to help. They won't be
right.
able to do the questionnaire for them because of what we've said around COVID.
Mm,
So they will maintain distancing, and they will have a mask and what have you, and adhere to the COVID guidelines locally.
yes.
Hopefully we won't be in tier 4, but even if we are, there will still be follow-up household officers maintaining those guidelines and signposting help for them. So, I hope that answers your question.
Yes, just one more and I'll finish then. And that is, you mentioned at some point down the line, names might be necessary.
Oh yes, absolutely. So what I wanted to reassure the people that are listening to this, and just all our organisations, charities, and the greater public, no one can be identified from the information that they give on the census questionnaire until 100 years' time, when all the information is released. So
Right,
in 1 year's time, the information, the data that's taken from all the questions that are answered is made available for all the organisations and charities and many hundreds and thousands and millions of departments that are interested, without the name. So just to
right.
reassure that their
Yeah,
data protection is massive for the ONS. We have many years of a brilliant reputation of never sharing. We don't even share it amongst government departments, police, and any department. So nobody gets told any names. The only reason we take the name, as I said, Carol, was so that the census coverage survey can check for accuracy of the information that's taken, because let's be honest, the census data is no use to anybody unless it's accurate. Okay, so that's the
yeah.
only reason that's done. And then when the information is shared, the names are completely removed and no one can be identified from the information they give, which also brings me to individuals within a household can request a separate questionnaire for themselves if they would wish to remain private, for many
I
reasons.
see.
For instance, things like the new questions that are in the questionnaire around gender and sexual orientation. There may be individuals out there who would prefer to answer those questions privately, and they can request an individual questionnaire and have it sent to them in a plain envelope, or do the individual questionnaire online privately. So I hope that goes some way to reassure you.
Yes, and there is the security around the system when names are given online, along with the information.
Yeah, definitely data protection is huge. The only reason, as I said, the names are definitely removed before any of the information is shared. No one can be identified from any information they give.
Right, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Carol. I can see Michael has his hand up. Michael, you've got a question?
Yes, thank you.
Hi, Michael.
Morning, Ellie.
Morning.
I think you've answered a few of the questions I was going to raise. You mentioned about the names to be kept for at least 100 years. So my final question would be, when will the 1921 census details be available?
I'm sorry, Patrick. Michael, I didn't quite hear that. It's gone very faint. Did you hear it, Patrick? I didn't hear the question.
Yeah, Michael's question was, when will the 1921 survey be released?
I believe that's going to be what are we looking at now? Hang on, 1921. So we're talking either, it should be 1921. Was it 1921?
Yes.
Yes. So it's released 100 years after the census was taken. So it should be, I believe I've been told, early next year.
Not until next year, is it?
No, it's this year. It is this year. That information should already be available. I'm sorry, you're talking about the information from 100 years ago should already be available because we're 100 years now down the line. So that information should be available currently. It's only the information taken from this census, is going to be a year later, without the names, obviously. Yes, thank you. That believe, I may have to come back to you on that, but I believe that's available now because we're already 100 years down the line from when it was done.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Julie has a question, I can see.
Right, sorry. I just wanted to say that I've joined from Blaen y Gwent. Is that okay?
Yes, absolutely fine, of course.
That's okay then. I just wanted you to know, that's all.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. I have a colleague, Alan Cotterill. If you want, I can share the information for you. I don't know if I can put that in the chat for his details if you wanted to contact. He's actually covering, I believe it's Blaen y Gwent and Caerphilly. Bear with me, I'll just double check that. Yes, Caerphilly and Blaen y Gwent. So he's my colleague, is doing the exact same role as I am. If you had any questions for that area, you could direct it to him or to me. I don't mind. But yeah, I can put that information if you like, share that with you.
Okay, that's lovely. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Don't think we do.
What I'll do is, if that's okay, I'll actually say to you what his details are as well. So it's Alan.Cotterill, COTTERILL, 88 at field.census.gov.uk.
Thank you very much for that, Ellie.
Yeah, thank you very much, Patrick, and thank you to everybody for listening. As I say, every response counts, and please make sure that you do yours and you count too. Thank you.